But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
And unmute. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you all this morning. Oh, no, I got that. There we go. All right. Hey, good morning. Where is this? Interesting. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. Instagram camera is doing a little crazy stuff over here. So this morning's conversation, outwitting the devil. Are you good enough to be undistracted by the devil? And we talked about, and that's Napoleon Hill's book. You can find it on YouTube, Outwitting the Devil. That's our conversation for today. So that being said, first of all, let me ask you, did you send out your messages of joy, of gratitude, of peace, of love, of hope, of caring? Let's end this and start that over. For some reason, that's a little squirrely. We're not going to share that. So let's do this real quick. Just trying to fix Instagram. So let me ask you, drop a 1 in the chat if you've actually heard the conversation, the book, read the story about Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil, it's a good book. It wasn't released for years until after Napoleon had passed away. And it was part of the foundation's request that it was long after they both passed away, him and her. So, because it's controversial when you listen to it. So this idea of outwitting the devil, this idea of outwitting fear and doubt and confusion, interesting. Why is that such a challenge this morning? I'm going to turn that off, see if signal's any better. So, not sure. Instagram is doing some crazy stuff. The camera is just, well, looks like we're not going to do Instagram this morning. So we'll end that and see if that comes up better later on. Sorry about that. So, outwitting the devil. What are some of the techniques? What are some of the tools? What are some of the ways that the devil causes us to be distracted from our goals, from our wants, from our dreams, from our wishes? Well, the biggest way is thinking. 98% of the people don't think, right? You've heard this expression. Maybe you've heard me say it. 1% of the population thinks. 2% think they think. The other 97% would rather die than think. That's the way most people are. That's the way most people are. And how do you know people aren't thinking? Listen carefully. This one might leave some bruises for some people listening. It's the words they use. Are they responding to a conversation, or are they repeating a habitual action? You will hear people use phrases that they typically use. You will hear people uncomfortable with silence in their conversations. Why does that mean they're not thinking? Because to assemble a sentence takes a little bit of effort. Now, if you're practicing something, if you're giving a speech, if you're giving a monologue, it doesn't take any effort at all. See, when you decide to have a dialogue, where you speak, they listen. The challenge is they're not listening, because listening requires thinking. Listening requires assembling. Listen requires challenging your own awareness. Most people can't listen. Most people fail significantly at having a dialogue because they choose not to listen. They can hear, but they don't listen. Let me give you an example. When you read a book, are you listening to the author or are you reading their words? It's easy to read words. It's easy to read and comprehend. It's very difficult to listen and have a conversation. All that you listen to should be challenging something about you. All that you hear should be challenging something that you believe, something that you hear, something that you feel that's a little bit off from what you're used to. Most people don't do that. Most people are lulled in by marketing. They're lulled in. It's how the great marketers can assemble the masses. Listen carefully. It's how the great marketers can assemble the masses because they know how everybody thinks. And if you were going to go market, listen carefully, if you were going to go market, if you were going to go sell stuff, would you want to sell to the 2%? Or would you want to sell to the 98%? Somebody type in a chat somewhere. What Rolls-Royce says about advertising. What's the conversation that Rolls-Royce says, or Ferrari says, or anybody says about why they don't advertise on TV? Because the people who can afford their stuff, right, aren't watching commercials. Why don't you see G5 commercials on your general programming? Why don't you even see G5 commercials on Instagram? You'll see Share and NetJet commercials on Instagram posts. You won't see Learjet advertising on Instagram. So you want to be a millionaire. You want to be rich. You want to have wealth. You want to create success. Where are you spending your time? Let me ask you, in all of the hours of your scrolling, have you come across wealth creation conversations? In all of your wealth creation, have you seen the icons of your industry teaching lessons? Or have you only seen images of their vacations? See, that's outwitting the devil. And when you come across the 2% who are out there wanting to speak to you, elevate you, help you have more of what you want, less of what you don't, you're asking for it. You're begging for it. You're wishing for it. You're praying for it. Some of you woke up on your knees this morning saying, I need an opportunity. And it was right in front of you. Every time you walk past a mirror is the greatest opportunity that exists. My daddy always said the best investment you could ever make is in yourself. The best investment you could ever make is in yourself. The reason most people have, as a buddy of mine says, R.C. Cardenas says, most people have shelf help is because they haven't decided to help themselves. When you decide to help yourself, it'll be the most aggravating, the most agitating, the most ungrateful feeling you will ever have. Why? Because you are literally outwitting the devil. The devil is 50% of every atom that exists. It's the negative energy. Ask yourself this: if it didn't exist, would any of this exist, or would it be in a new form, a new state? It wouldn't be in this form, couldn't be in this form, because the opposite holds each other together. Now, why does 98% of the population fall under the control of negativity? Well, you ask some people, I don't know. Ask Warren Buffett if he's got an Instagram account. When we giggle. Well, Warren Buffett wouldn't have an Instagram account. He's old. That's nothing to do with old. There's a lot of old people on Instagram. Follow me? Oh, well, I'm not up with all of that technology. Warren Buffett reads 2 hours a day. Reads 2 hours a day. How many hours yesterday did you read? How many hours yesterday did you do something? What did your hours get filled with yesterday? What hours consumed your focus yesterday? Did you spend time in preparation of food for your family? Did you spend time eating? Did you spend time journaling? Did you spend time in gratitude? Did you spend time in meditation? Did you spend time reading? When I talk to people and say meditate for 2 hours a day, most people, they freak out. Are you kidding? I don't have that much time. Well, you just told me a whole lot about the time you do have. What's going to change? The reason most people don't like to meditate is because they're not good company for themselves. Ooh, that hurt. No, I like me, really. Sit quietly. How long can you sit quietly? How long can you sit in the joy of your own awareness? How long? How long can you sit quietly in the joy of your own awareness? How long can you become comfortable with silence? When is the next chance you get to fall back in love with yourself? Just curious. You want big answers, then you're going to have to ask big questions. So can you outwit the devil? Whatever the devil is for you. Some people say phrases like devil is in the details. Money is the root of all evil. Oh, you have your own phrase. It's when you finally decide that enough is enough. There'll always be a day that you've had enough. There'll always be a day that you are not on task. There'll always be a day that you'll find an excuse until. So my conversation this morning, and I'll let you go here in just a second, YouTube, is when will you decide that something different is different? When will you decide that you doing something different for you will probably piss off a lot of people? And you don't need to do the thing with the end goal of pissing them off, making them mad, getting them frustrated, getting them agitated. You do deserve to have your dreams come true in this lifetime. I don't know if you believe in reincarnation, I'm not sure what you think you might come back as. All I can tell you is this: it's probably a good time to decide what's next. Let me ask you this: what's next with the next 90 days? So if you were to ask what's 90 days, Alexa, what's 90 days from today?
2 months and 29 days after today is December 14th, 2022.
December 14th, 2022 is 90 days after today. December 14th.
Answer your question.
Alexa, stop.
6 months.
So if December 14th is 90 days from now, what's going to change? December 14th is going to come. Barring all catastrophes on the planet, December 14th will be here. A man-made construct of time, 24 hours in a day, sunrise, sunset, that equates for a day. 90 sunsets, 90 sunrises. Where's your life going to be? Most people, their focus is money. Most people in their business haven't made $5,000 in a month ever. Most people, 98% of the people, they wouldn't know what to do if they made $5,000 a month in their business. It doesn't matter their business. It's the small business owner, right? I decided to go in business for myself. I decided to quit my job and go in business for myself. Now I get to work 24 hours a day. What the hell? When's enough enough? When are you going to decide that this is your moment? And when you decide you're finally going to take control of you, because it isn't your comp plan. It isn't your boss's decision whether you get a raise or not. This is all about you. Everything revolves around you. It is your responsibility, your ability to respond. Congratulations. Where you're at, it's your thoughts. And your thoughts are your fault. Good, bad, or indifferent. When you're ready to make that shift, when you're ready to lay down the hammer and say, enough is enough, I want more, that's when you and I will have a conversation. Not anybody else on the planet. When you decide that the next 90 days you want to make 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, if you can figure out, if you can see the path, if you see the access inside your business model, I don't care what business model you're in. I really don't. If you can lay out the path and you see what actions are necessary in the next 90 days, the only thing holding you back are your thoughts. And all of the training and all of the books and all of the webinars and all of the seminars and all of the conference calls and all of the emails and all of the TikToks and all of the Zooms aren't doing you a damn bit of good because you're still stuck. You're working on one aspect of your life. And your life is to achieve your goals. You were born for greatness. And when you finally decide you are going to work on all aspects of your life, listen, how many people, drop a 2 in the chat if you know people who are wealthy, but their life is miserable. You know they're wealthy, but their life is miserable. See, they haven't worked on all aspects of their life. They've worked on their finance side, but their mental side, their relationship side, it sucks. It's all self-talk. They were told that they've got to sacrifice everything in life to create their wealth. And once they have their wealth, they will be fine. The challenge is they have wired in the BS story, the belief system story, that in order to create money, they got to be an ass. They have to sacrifice. They've got to put people down. They got to push people to the side. Geez, I don't know about that. I know all of the people whose names are household names, the influencers through religion, most of them weren't jerks. I can't think of any of them being jerks. I know they've turned over tables inside of the market every now and then. They tore down the temple to the cornerstone. They got a little frustrated with people paying attention to false gods. They had some fire and brimstone show up in the stories that we've heard. But for the most part, they were not asses. They were the kindest, most grateful, gentlest people on the planet. The living examples of them today are Gandhi and Mother Teresa. They weren't jackasses. How many people are you following that you know they're a jackass? You know they're a straight up asshole, and yet you follow them because you're hoping to get one little nugget from them. Jim Rohn said it best, don't ever do a good deal with a bad person. Don't ever do a good deal with a bad person. How many of you are wanting good deals with bad people? Just saying. And you wonder why you struggle. You wonder why you fall short. You can have them as people who give you ideas when you're flat out following them lock, step, and barrel. Wow. Your best success is in the next mirror you find. And when you're ready to take the next 90 days and make them the best 90 days, you'll reach out. When you've had enough, listen, don't make me your middle call. Don't make me the call in the middle. Either make me your first call or your last call. That's what I tell people when they want to hire me as a consultant. Am I your first call? No. Am I your last call? Nope. If I ain't one of those, you ain't ready for me. You ain't ready for me. If I'm the guy in the middle, you're just looking to figure out how can you justify the people you just fired, and who should you be looking for, the people that you should fire, that you should hire next. I ain't your middle guy. I ain't your bounce back. I ain't your, I don't know why this came to me, but I guess we needed a laugh right now. I'm not your booty call for success. I think I need that as a t-shirt. Yeah, I said that. I'm not your booty call for success. You can't call me at midnight and say, can I come over and pick your brain? No, you can't. But I have chocolates. Nope, sorry. I have a puppy. Tough. So I'll leave you with that image. And I will say this. Decide when you are going to decide. See, you've thought you've made decisions. Oh, well, I've made decisions before. No, you haven't. You've made strong suggestions. When you decide, if you want to take advantage of the next 90 days and truly rewire what takes 18 months, can you change somebody's will who doesn't want their will to be changed? Yes, it's called leverage. I'll never smoke. I'll never drink again. I put a gun to your head. You may or may not do something. I put a gun to the head of somebody you love. You'll drink in a heartbeat. So can you change the mind of somebody who doesn't want their mind changed? Yes. And the answer is leverage. The challenge is that when you have leveraged, when you are leveraged against holding on to your old identity, you get pissed off. You change stations. You go look for the easier path. You go look for the person who doesn't want to confront you, doesn't want to challenge you. This is all about accountability. If I were to ask your 10-year-old self, is this what you promised yourself you'd be at 20, at 30, at 40, at 50? Is this the feeling? Is this the state? Is this the wealth? Is this the joy? Is this where you said you'd be when you turned 20, 30, 40? Was that the dream you had? Or did you let yourself get kicked in the gut and decide, I'm not strong enough? I'm not good enough. Nobody likes me. When you're ready for that to change, when you're ready to give up your old identity, then we should have a conversation. I look forward to that conversation. We're going to be doing a Zoom on this coming Tuesday, a week from yesterday. We're going to be doing a Zoom this Tuesday on what it actually takes to become dangerously conscious. To have a dangerously conscious, focused mind, to become dangerously aware, to become dangerously successful. You create a danger in the world, a danger to what everybody thought you were, a danger to what everybody said you were capable of, and a danger to your old self who said, I'm not good enough. So when you're ready to become dangerous, reach out. It's a free webinar. If you want to know about that, reach out to me. I'll invite you. It'll be about 60 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, maybe some Q&A. When you decide that by December 14th, you're going to reach a big milestone in your business, 5 grand, 10 grand, and be able to have it consistently go continuously. It's easy to make 10 grand. That's easy. To create a business model that allows the 10 grand to repeat, duplicate. That's where most people struggle. That's where most trainings fall off. I can teach you, but the challenge is it ends with you. You can't teach anybody else. And that's where most people struggle. So I look forward to seeing you and hearing you when you make your decision. I wish you great success, great considerations in becoming aware of who you're capable of becoming. So until then, I am your head challenging your dreams and your current identity misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next